With Christmas time steadily approaching, it's that time of year that everyone starts building Christmas trees. And particularly on Minecraft servers, a lot of people build them. So I figured, you know what, it's the perfect time to create a tutorial for those who don't know on how to build a decorated Christmas tree. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into it so that we can all get into the season and feel jolly and whatnot. Anyways, if you enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get straight on into it. As with any of my builds, I am very nicely organized here with 3 shulker boxes, all containing each unique set of items. Now for this Christmas tree, I am going to be decorating with player heads. But if you're doing this in survival, you can easily use the stained clay glass or even just wool and whatnot. I'm actually going to be using both heads and glass in this case. But let's go ahead and start by grabbing these materials here: oak wood, spruce leaves, and spruce wood slabs. And we're going to go straight into building this thing. So this isn't going to be one of those abnormally large Christmas trees. This is just going to be a very standard tree that you could even place inside your house depending on how tall it is, or just right outside. Start by building a 9-block tall log essentially. So this is going to be the trunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now all Christmas trees, or at least if it's the same Christmas tree as most others, it's going to be layered. That's just how the trees are. They're built out of mainly 3 to 4 different layers, all bigger from the base, and then they get thinner and thinner until they get to a very point at the top. So that we're going to do that same thing here, and we're going to do that by doing a 3-block out extended lower base. It's kind of hard to really explain what I'm doing here, but essentially a 3-block out lower layer. There we go. That's the word. And then we're going to go 1 block up and do 2 instead of 3. And this is going to look very bad right off the start, but it'll get a lot better. Don't worry. And do the same thing here. And then once you get to the top, you're going to want to just do 1 instead of 2. Go ahead and throw 2 blocks right on top of it, and you've basically created a simple Taiga tree. This is essentially just like the ones in the game. Now you're going to fill out the layers, and don't worry, like I said, it'll look a lot better. You just always want to build out a skeleton first. So now we're going to fill in each layer by making them essentially as close to a circle as we can. And to do that, I'm going to essentially show you guys a example. You don't necessarily have to follow this second, because I am going to say to pause it now. There you go. You can kind of see I've created a half circle here. You're basically going to try and do that as best as you can with each layer, and I'll show you how to do that. But let's go ahead and fill this in, and I'll show you an easier way on the other side. So what I like to do is start from 1 block from this side and then go 3, 2, 1, just like that, and it creates the same thing. So 3, 2, 1. Just like that. Let's go ahead and go to the next layer, and you're going to do the same thing, just a little bit smaller. You're going to go 2, 1, 2, 1, just like that. And it works from any direction. 2, 1, as you can see. 2, 1, there you go. And then this one's a lot easier. You're just going to place 1 block in the center. And that is essentially how you create a general layout for your tree. Now we could stop here, but that wouldn't look that good. So what I really recommend you do is choose about 2 to 3 random blocks out of each layer and throw in a spruce leaf in between. So I'm going to do 3 on this end. Actually, we'll do 4. We'll do that. Leave open some of the wood. That way it kind of shows and fits the unique style of a Christmas tree. And just do the same for each layer, and make sure to get smaller and smaller as you go. That's actually going to be there. That'd be better. And then up here, we're going to do maybe just 1 there. And that'll be good for now. And that still looks very weird. Actually, we're going to go on the back, because that looked too consistent up with these middle layers. But this would look very weird on its own. So the best way to avoid having a very bland tree is to really randomize the mess out of it. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Essentially, you're going to want to randomize it. Break some blocks and place them above. Have some blocks floating and others not. That's the true secret to building a very cool looking tree. It's just, going a little bit crazy and not having it specifically, generated looking. You know what I mean? Something that looks like it's been built naturally, or naturally grown, not even built. And even the trees in Minecraft themselves, the ones that are generated, don't do a good job at this. But it is kind of hard to achieve the right look. And I'm just trying to get a feel for it as we go here. You can kind of see. You don't have to do it everywhere, but just try and, do it here and there. So like I said, I'm trying my best to get a design, but it's kind of hard. You just got to do it by eye. But I'm going to go around and try and randomly place some blocks. Like I said, just one block up like that sometimes. Just kind of like it looks like it got pushed up. That's really just how trees grow. So that's what you're going to want to do. But I'm going to go around and just try and randomize the tree a little bit. And I'll see you guys in just a moment. There we go. Much, much more fluffy and much better looking. It's really random, and it doesn't really have a consistent design, and you really couldn't copy this and make 100 of the same trees like an easy way. It's just, obviously if you predicted every spot that you did and you kept track of it all, then you could, but it's really meant to just be a random process, because that's how trees are. They're just random with the crown and everything, which is what the leaves are on. Now this is pretty much the completed tree. This is how it's supposed to look. We're just going to kind of decorate it from here on out. But before we do that, we're going to kind of work on the base a little bit. And I'm just going to use spruce wood to kind of pop it around and just kind of make it look like it's growing into the ground a little bit. Just like on this side, kind of have one down, using half slabs. Just kind of like that, really random, not really much at all. And it's actually optional. But then we're going to work on adding a skirt before we do anything else. So let's go ahead and grab our red carpet here and our red wool and just kind of place a random amount of the carpet just like that, and then fill it in using the normal wool. And don't really go too crazy on it, just kind of keep it a little minimal. Maybe just create like a diamond shape, kind of like I've done, or even like an oval, or not even an oval, just a circle. Like this pretty much, and that will give you a nice skirt design. And then we'll do one there we go. And with the carpets, it looks random just like everything else on the tree. So if we go ahead and get rid of all of these, I still needed the slabs actually, so let's go ahead and grab a slab just like that. Then you can kind of see this is a good tree on its own. You could even grab one of these and just plant it right there just to kind of give it a little bit more of a random shape, but we're not going to do that because most Christmas trees are very sheer at the bottom. Well, as much as they could be, I guess. But in Minecraft, that's how we're going to do it. So if you wanted to stop here and decorate it yourself, I really encourage you to. And if you do, please send me your Christmas trees on Twitter. I'd love to see them. Please, I really want to see all the Christmas trees. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the decorating process. So with any tree, you're usually going to find them having some sort of wrapping around it that's going kind of in a spiral direction around the tree. And this part is actually pretty difficult. This is the part that, like I said, it's really up to you if you wanted to do. It's just kind of something you have to do over and over again. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. You have to do it by eye and just really try and find the best placement. But I'm just going to go around and place, kind of like in a stair fashion, slabs all the way around until they get to a certain point. And now I could have it, continue wrapping around, but what I'm going to do instead is create another one on the back. And we're going to do, start it about here. And well, really there, and then go up and continue on. That way it kind of all works out in the front, and you'll see what I mean by that. Let's actually do that. We'll do that. Put that there, and it's like you can see, I'm actually breaking my own blocks. So it's really a trial process. You just got to do it all by eye, otherwise it's just not really going to work. But it looks really weird right now, but don't worry, it'll look a lot better once we've finished. And it's not really going to look great on all sides, so just keep playing around with it. Throw in some random slabs here and there. Once you have the decorations, it kind of looks better. I honestly don't even know how to properly explain this process. You're just kind of picking up the wrapping and putting it in different places. Whenever I was a kid and my grandmother was doing the Christmas tree, she would always do this, and I'm pretty sure everyone has to do this. Just put the lights in different places just to make it look perfect, at least from one angle. So that's what we're doing here. But you can do it all from one angle. You just got to really work with it. But for now, we're just going to work on this general view here. So we've got two spirals, making it look pretty much perfect. Now, what we're going to do is pretty much go over to our shulker boxes again and start decorating with some lights. So choose some colors that you really, really like, and keep an eye on your surroundings, because if you do a good job at this, you can choose colors that will highlight everything around, like the Christmas tree. And also, if you did this in a snow biome, make sure to put some snow on the tree. That would also bring some color. But basically, with the colors here, normally they would be hanging down, but I'm not going to do that in this case because it would just require some extra work. Instead, we're going to go on every top block just like that and just place one color. So all the way around on every other block, if it can support it, we're going to place, just like I said, an ordinary color there. And even some that are on the leaves, it just, as long as it somewhat looks good, like, then that's totally fine. Let's just place random colors here. It's kind of a random process if you can't tell by now to build like a custom tree. It's all about building by the eye and just going with the flow and building based on what you want to see. So once you've done that, let's go ahead and do that and then place one more about there. Actually, I want to kind of randomize the colors up a little bit more. Try and get at least one of every color over here. We'll do that. And that's good for those, for the player heads. And now just get rid of all of those. And then go in here and grab your stained clay. Now this is really going to bring out a lot of color. This is optional. You, like I said, decorate the tree how you want. But one of the things that I find really helps is to just splash a few different pieces of glass, which sounds really weird on a Christmas tree, but just splash a few different colors, especially this purple. Trust me, the purple really adds a lot to it. Just enough to where it's not quite like that, to where it's like a single pole, but enough to where it connects to multiple blocks. And just throw them all over the tree, because this really brings out the sense of lights all over the tree. I was amazed by this. I was really surprised that this even worked, because it is quite weird. I'm going to fill that in. It is really weird to do this, but it just works. It's so hard to explain. And you don't even have to go that crazy with it, really. You just kind of play with it and work with it. Try and get a system that works, and eventually you'll have the perfect tree, which I'm pretty happy with that so far. So we're going to get rid of all of those and do the last few decorations. We're going to get a set of spruce fence and glowstone here, as well as break these two blocks. We're going to place a leaf there, so it's now an 8 logs trunk. Then we're going to get a spruce fence and just a glowstone on top. That way from the bottom you see it as if it's a star. And if you wanted, you could put some item frames on it to give it more of a star look by doing something like... Let's see if we can't do this. I'm always afraid to use the keyboard while recording because I'm going to end up, clicking off to record or something. But let's get an orange light. You could always go and do something like this and just place stained clay all the way around. Or not clay, but glass. Or just multiple picture frames. And do that. It's optional. It kind of gives it more ridges and makes it look a little bit more like a star from the top. Fortunately, you can't do it from the top, but... so just kind of like that. I mean, it kind of works, but you don't have to do it. And then my favorite part, and I think anyone's favorite part, is the presents. So you go ahead and do this any way you'd like, whether you want to use your own custom models or you want to use stained clay. That would even work. It's just a little bit weird. Or, as I actually noticed while planning for this, if you use shulker boxes, that could kind of work. In fact, I'm going to use a few of them now that I think about it, which I have them set to look like backpacks. Just don't mind that. But these can look like big presents, and then obviously with the player heads, you're going to use, the player heads just like that. I'm actually not going to use that one. It's a little too neon, but just be very careful with this process because you want to make sure that you place them strategically and in good placement. So just all around the tree, really. And I like this one because it's open. I wish there was one that was just a top, too. That would be really cool. But just go through and place them in any format. And I'm going to leave a link down in the description for the place that I actually got all these player heads. And I think that's going to do it. Let's maybe add one more there. No. We're going to do one there. That'd be better. So that way it kind of evens out on each side. And with these, what you could do is just get some like a wooden button. Well, actually, I guess you can. I thought you could put them on it, but I guess you couldn't. Just to kind of give it at least a little bit of a bow. But otherwise, it works. I mean, not all of them would have a bow. And that just kind of looks like wrapping, in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much how you build a Christmas tree. I really want to see you guys, send your designs in on Twitter or even Instagram. Anyone who sends me one, I'm going to retweet it and follow. So I'll follow back or just follow even if you're not following me. You can find my Twitter down in the description below and on screen at the end of the video. Please send me your designs. I'd love to see them. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you're hoping for Christmas, and let me know also what you think about my Christmas tree, and if you think you could do better, send me a photo, like I said. But anyways, guys, my name has been System Z. This has been How to Build a Christmas Tree in Minecraft. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful holiday nonetheless, and a wonderful time of year, as the song goes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.